Good evening and welcome to Just Seriously Voicing Thoughts with me, Chris Venugopal. And today I have the pleasure of having Vishal Saxena, a very special person who is specialized in regression, rescripting, reformation, and he's a transformation coach. Now, when it comes to life transformation, there are very few people who are so qualified, and I have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Vishal Saxena. Dr. Vishal, let me begin with that main question. Every person goes through difficulties in life, and when they face difficulty, the more chances are to buckle. Now, does life transformation guarantee you a way to come above all that and maybe surface to a level where he can swim to the shore?
Sir, I will tell you some. Basically, what happens is in our journey, when we move, we gather a lot of informations, and these informations keeps on layering up and up and up and up on ourselves. And
Hmm.
when these informations are layering up, what happens is we tend to work on the current situation and we forget the past situation, sir.
Right.
Right, sir? Sir, can I have a question again, sir, please? Because I was just having some problem with this
No
voice.
issue, no issue. I was just saying every person goes through much difficult times, and the more tendency is to buckle. And does life transformation help them surface and reach the shore?
Yes, sir. So what happens basically, first of all, sir, I normally believe in three principles.
Hmm.
Every thought has a root.
Okay.
Your behavior depends upon your conditioning.
Hmm.
And the third is all your emotions and well-beings are connected to your past. Right, sir. Now, when a
Right.
person going through certain situation,
Hmm.
what we normally happen to do is we normally happen to try and think on the effect side. Oh, why me?
Right.
That is the biggest question a person asks. And then we do not go on to the depth at all because we remain on the surface level of the water.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
And then we are thinking in every day in and day out, why it is happening to me? What did I do? We do not think that what was the reason behind it. So when we are
Hmm.
focusing on the effect, that is what largely entire world is working upon it.
Right.
Effect. And these effects, now you can read it in a mental health going. But now, if you think about why me, so you go to the cause. What was the reason? Why this situation has come to me?
Hmm.
What is the universal energy trying to tell me?
Right.
That is when you go to the depth of it. And we, as a transformation coach, we help people to go into that particular depth, understand them. See, अगर एक आदमी a person who does not have an understanding, so we
Hmm.
cannot leave him on the road like this, right?
Right.
So we guide him, hand hold him, and we take him there. Because when we are on a grooming stage, every person, small and adult, young adult, or a child, everybody have lot of things which is stored in their mind with a lock,
Hmm.
right? And they do not know how to open this lock. So,
Okay.
as a transformation coach, what does a transformation means? Trans. In the trance, we do the formation again.
Okay.
Okay, trance is one word. We take you to the trance. Why we take you to the trance is basically we want to revisit that particular situation when it started first.
Hmm.
So, we as a transformation coach, and me as a transformation coach, I give them the key,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, you now open that particular area of your memory where this situation similar was stored and
Hmm.
cleaned, and we guide them. And how we clean it is basically for transformation. We ask them, what is that you want to put it?
Hmm.
The things which is going out, you have to replace it with something good.
Right. Right.
If I have to see somebody, they have a lot of regrets in their life. Wish
Hmm.
I would have done this. Wish I would have done this. My life would have become better. Right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So that wish I would have done this. We say, okay, what you are wishing, let's go back to the place at that particular age where we wanted to do this particular thing.
Hmm.
So when he goes revisits, because currently he is in a very different situation, much more mature, knows the world better, more experienced.
Right.
And when he visits that place, he cannot visit on his own. So we take him to the trance for the new formations.
Mm-hmm.
We regress him. And when we go there, he tells, okay, with this new way of thinking and looking at things, he says that particular, now this person who's in the past, the same person of his, is an inner child. He will go and tell that particular person, okay, now I am there to help you. I am here to guide you. So the
Mm-hmm.
present self meets the past self, and then he wish I would have done this. He completes that wish here, and after
Okay.
that he walks the steps of his success wherever the situation has there in his life every time. So
Right.
entire his perception changes of the situation. I could have handled it better. Now handle it. I would
Right.
have done this better, not do it. And when he cleans all these past things, he reaches to a current situation where he is now aware of what has happened in the past. No more wish I had done this. Then we do the
Mm-hmm.
goal basing. In the future, if the same situation arises, how he is going to react to it. And when he
Right.
does that, the entire life becomes such a easy, life becomes very easy for that person. Because now his understanding cleans his past and creates his future.
Right. On that, let me ask a question where I know certain people who constantly try something and they fail at it. Now,
Hmm.
that constant failure, when they're looking for a transformation, they are looking for success. But
Correct.
somehow, in their mind, they feel they cannot achieve it because in the past they have failed so much. So,
Correct.
does transformation mean that that thought that they will never be able to achieve it can be changed?
Yes, it can. See, I'll just tell you. I will again say now the thought that he is a failure, things did not work. Right?
Hmm.
Today, if I have to see that way, everybody, 99% people are failures.
Right.
Correct? See, let's not take it failure as a failure. They were into a learning process. For
Hmm.
a simple example, I'll give you. In school,
Hmm.
we all had a goal of achieving 100 marks,
Right.
right? And what we used to achieve 60%, 70 out of 100, 80 out of 100, 90 out of 100, that's it.
Right.
So what happens here is our, as I said, our action is depending upon our condition. Now, if I say everybody in the past has said you can never do it good, you're good for nothing, right?
Right. Hmm.
Three times initialization, association, and confirmation.
Right.
Now, this person now he wants to start a business.
Hmm.
He starts a business with very happy note that I will do the business. But in his conditioning, his subconscious is saying, hey, if you do this business,
Hmm.
you may lose money also.
Right.
Right? So subconscious mind, which is very big, it says, okay, 6,000 down faster. That subconscious mind is ruling over him. So instead of being happy, he will suddenly remember his past.
That
And
he failed.
then his effort, his energy will slow down a bit.
Hmm.
Okay, when it slow down a bit, and then he will put less effort in that. The less effort, the less the result is there. So he
Hmm.
starts walking back steps towards what his goal is. And then in the
Okay.
life, in the end, he says, oh my God, I knew it. I will fail. I'm always a failure.
Right.
So
So,
we skip that.
so it actually boils down to one point that whomsoever actually is failing in something has programmed themselves to fail in it.
Correct.
And this can be changed via, say, we are looking at transformation through a regression or maybe other methods which can be employed to give them that feeling that yes, they can also succeed.
See, Sadiq, here, fail. Today, I'll tell you, we all have our own way of looking at things. Right? Okay. If you put an
Hmm.
object in front of everybody, everybody will give their different way of stating about that particular object. Correct, sir? So now
Right.
people are saying this is a failure. I will give my own example. You will be
Hmm.
laughing. When I was giving my standard A seventh,
Hmm.
I came back home. My
Okay.
mom asked me in the mathematics, how much are you going to score
Okay.
out of 100?
Hmm.
She did not say out of 100, how much are you going to get? I said
Hmm.
80%.
Hmm.
Mother was very happy,
Hmm.
right? And the
Hmm.
result came, I got 8 out of 100.
Okay.
Okay. And got spanking
Right.
also for that.
Right. Right.
Right. But what I was in my mind, I answered only 10 marks. So I got 8.
So
You're getting my
indirectly,
point.
yeah, yeah. So you mean to say that every person can program himself to be better?
Yes.
Okay. Now, why is it that people are not believing that?
Sorry,
Because
sir?
you have seen so many people who
Hmm.
who have such beliefs. Why is that they are not able to believe that they can succeed?
See, sir, what is a belief system? First of all, understand that. A belief system is basically a outside, we work on a four way of looking at things, which we call social, economical, educational, and religion. Right? That is form our belief system. So now that is outside, inside we are gathering the knowledge. People are saying you are not good at this, please don't do this. You are not good at this, please do not do it. So when the thing which is set thrice, it becomes your belief system. When it becomes your belief system and you start operating with that belief system. Suppose I ask a person on the road walking, buy a lottery ticket for you.
Mm-hmm.
You will go to the lottery shop, pay the amount of money, and you'll say, Mary, I never win lotteries. Belief.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
Right.
manifesting. So this is what the belief system has been developed in a growing stage. From till the time of suggestibility is developed, we have been so much compared with people.
Mm-hmm.
Like suppose a boy gets 80%, 80.1% in his ninth standard,
Hmm.
first terminal. Second terminal, he's again topping with 79.1. And the parent, instead of appreciating that second time also you have got first class, they'll say, hey, why come 1% was less? So what will this child feel? So the appreciation is something which is missing in the current society with everyone. If there is an appreciation for everything, even a single thing is appreciated, you will see everybody will become more positive, more happy, and they will start achieving things.
Right. Right. On that note, uh, it actually goes to a parenting question. Like when we are parenting a child, what are
Mhm.
the main things which has to be given importance when it comes to a child developing towards his life and he should achieve success? What are the main things we have to look at parenting side?
See, so first of all, I'll just give you a simple, small example.
Mm-hmm.
When we are parenting a child, I'm talking about from 0 to 2 age, the child starts
Mm-hmm.
learn how to walk and stands.
Mm-hmm.
You would be standing inside of a center table or anywhere or a sofa. What do the parent
Mm-hmm.
they do, or the people around you, or the people who come and visit the child? Oh, don't put any glass material on the top of the table,
Hmm.
right? The child will break it,
Right.
right? So we remove it, right? So now,
Right. True.
rather than
True.
removing it, keep it there only, no?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're keeping it, you are building confidence. You are vibrating a confidence in your child also.
Right.
That I'm confident that my child, if I explain the child once, it will not break.
Hmm.
So child, instead of, there are certain children who go everybody home and they just touch all the decorations,
Mm-hmm.
and in that thing the parent is, they fear to visit anybody, right?
Right. So
But
their
now if,
social skills would be affected.
sorry,
The social skills of the child would be affected then.
huh? So now if you are keeping things in front of a child and explain him, see, child has a memory also, because his memory is totally like a clean slate, is absorbing everything. It's like a dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
So it is developing. So now when you say the child, this if you touch it will break, and the child will understand that. If a child takes small thing and break it in front of him, the child will understand, if you break this is going to pain. Pain, it will be there for the child. When the pain the child will understand, the child will understand the future things also very easily. So a parent to build a confidence in a child is very important. If a child is
Mm-hmm.
sketching on the wall, the parent what they do, or somebody else what do, they come and slap you. What, you have spoiled the wall. Don't do that. Tell the child, this is very nice, draw it on the paper, and
Mm-hmm.
let's together clean this wall. Now the child is there. When he's cleaning the wall, he feels the pain. So he will next
Okay.
time not draw it on the wall, he will draw it on the paper. So a parent should, instead of saying
Mm-hmm.
the problem as a problem, tell them this is what could be handled in a different way. So now this child, instead of looking at problems always, it will look for the solutions.
Right.
And when the child develops this solution, he becomes more confident.
Mm-hmm.
Correct, sir? Hello.
At school, bullying, or
So do not tell the
maybe
child
they
to
are not able
behave
to
in a such a
score,
manner.
and they get scolded for not scoring. Or,
Sorry, sir? Hello.
no, no, I was saying there are a lot of kids who go through bullying and they go through difficulties at school. Am I audible?
Hmm. See, sir, when a child goes through a difficult period in a school,
Huh. So there are a lot of kids who go through. Mhm.
I think so. There's some
Yes,
voice
please
issue here.
continue. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. So I could not hear
Can
you
you
at
hear
all,
me?
sir. Now I can hear you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you, sir.
Yeah. So what I was asking was, yeah, a child actually goes through a lot of bullying and difficulty at school, and maybe not able to score, and the
Hmm.
child is blamed to be bad or stupid, or the child takes that pain of being completely branded as a spoil sport and a kind of a weakling. All these
Hmm.
things. Does it not really change the way the child looks at life, and maybe in future his failure is actually a reason? I mean, the reason for the failure is actually these kind of situations.
You're
How do
right.
we tackle such
But
situations? Maybe in future
see
also,
now,
or maybe it's a child.
see, sir, I'll just tell you. Now this child who was bullied has become an adult now, right? And now this child, when it is in a like in a
Hmm.
business or he's working in a corporate world, he will have a fear. If I do this, what will happen? The trust issue will be there with him own self.
Hmm.
If I do this, people will bully me, people around me, and what is he going to attract? All these bully people around him. So these sort of people do come to us who are facing this situation. So
Right.
now, when we sit with this particular adult, it can be like, say,
Hmm.
suppose 15 and he comes at 18. So he's grown up a bit, right? So we tell, now this bullying, when it happened, they will say, I do not know. Usually people do not open up so fast with us. When they open up, we ask them, okay, this is what has happened. Now, what you want? I want to be confident to face things because now I know I can face those
Hmm.
things, right? So what we do is
Hmm.
we speak to that particular adult and regress
Right.
it and
Hmm.
rescript it and then bring it back. Because in school,
Hmm.
see, as I said, social, economical, educational, and religious. These four things makes your life path. If the child has been bullied, the parents do not
Hmm.
know. The child may become introvert and the child will be having a fear of certain things.
Right.
And it is best part is basically for a people now the world is
True.
opening up.
True.
Initially they never used to discuss also. They used to say, don't know why it is happening. I do not know what is
Hmm.
happening.
Hmm. Hmm.
But now they open up. And when we are also speaking to a person, the person says, okay, I have a fear of stage. What is the fear of stage? That is again, when this child was
Hmm.
performing on the stage, he was either he did not perform well and he saw his mother or anybody's eyes, they did not clap him, they did not appreciate him, right? Or they saw somebody else was booed on the stage. They take this particular as a fear.
True. True.
So we keep on absorbing and looking at the things around. When we absorb those things around, we start to behave in that particular manner. And that is where we as a transformation coach step into it.
Hmm.
And we say, okay, do not worry. We are here to guide you
So at
to
what
take this step. Sorry, sir. Hello. Hello, can't hear you, sir. Hello,
Like,
can't hear you at all. Hello.
at what age should
Mhm.
at what age should the
See, देखिए sir,
transformation
the
start?
thing is this. Mhm.
At what
See, the
age
age for
should the
trans.
transformation start? Should it be started at when the child is
No, no, no. See,
at
देखिए sir.
school?
First of all, my basic thing is if you want to become a very good parent, when the lady is in a family way, they should come to us and understand what is the life going to be thereafter. First thing. So that is what it is. The transformation starts from there. And now suppose something has gone wrong during the grown up age from let's say 0 to 14, when the suggestibility and everything is ready. And at the young adults, you normally see for a young adults in the teens, they say my friend's parents are much better than my
Hmm.
parents. Many parents they say that way. Why? Because the parents they react in such a situation, the friends' parents do not react. So we can transform and sit with the child at that teenage time and say, okay, understand why your parents are saying this thing, from where they are coming from, why they are saying you this thing, what is their way of looking at things. Think,
Hmm.
when people say, "Na, wear the shoes of your parent."
Right.
So child is a young child. See, understand what is your parent wanting to tell you. Don't go there. If you come late in the night, it will be a problem. So why your parent is saying so? So when the child
Hmm.
understands that, the bondage becomes more stronger.
Right.
So transformation starts from age
Hmm.
30, 13 onwards, 14 onwards. If a child come to us and we sit with the child and we say, okay, this is what has happened, and we make the parent also understand. So transformation can be there, and the sooner at this age they come, it will become easier for them.
Right. It is more of an awareness. Right. Now, there, when you're actually saying, you said one of the factors is religious. Now, that portion, there are a lot of people, or maybe a
Mhm.
lot of youngsters, who take it as a fashion to say that, no, I don't believe in any religion. Now,
Mhm.
what is all about
So,
it? Like, it has become a fashion to say that I'm an atheist. So, is that an issue, or how it can be sorted? Because one of the factors you said,
mhm.
the other than the social factors, you said there is a religious factor too. So, why is it that the youngsters now they
See,
feel
now
that
the
no, I
young
should say
person,
that I'm an atheist? It's
this lack of see, I'll
inhumane
just
to
tell
say
you
that I'm an
now.
atheist.
When today in this
Is it lack of
particular world, you have
awareness?
lot of things available with a single click on your keyboard, right? Anything with the child is not supported with an evidence.
Right,
Why should a child believe? Right. So now anything, maybe educational, maybe economical, maybe
right.
religious, maybe social. So now when a person says there was a king, there was one king who was huge and he used to walk this way, maybe in any story, the child will say, how it has happened, how can that be possible? Then they start to find out the evidence, and the evidence does not say anything which that convinces that particular child.
Right.
So he says, better not to believe it. So now, today, if we say, okay, I'll just give you
Mm-hmm.
bow and arrow on the past,
Okay.
right? We saw many TV serials where they were showing mythological
Hmm.
series where two arrows were coming and hitting each other and they were busting. And then they said, no, this is one arrow which can totally go and demolish the entire world.
Right.
That time that arrow was something different. Now if you compare this
Okay.
particular arrow with today's knowledge also, you have a nuclear power, right? So they know when they get nuclear war, they will understand what is a nuclear thing is. But both they will not understand. How is this possible?
So maybe we should, as a part of parenting, they should try and rationalize the story or maybe give the inner meaning of the story to them so that they can believe with proof?
See, I'll just tell you, you have to give a very inner story to the child. Anything. See, today, if we are also here, okay, to answer, they will just say, okay, yes, 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 yes. And they will go away, but they will not believe me. They will not trust me.
Right.
So you have to build a trust by giving them the evidence proof.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you give them the evidence and the proof, ki what is that is happening, then only they will trust. Even if today's, I'll say you, if somebody says, okay, you do Ho'oponopono, right? Say these 4 lines and everything will be okay for you, without explaining them what are the thought process behind this. So anybody will say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. They will think they are saying forgiveness to the person standing in front of them. I love you to a person standing in front of them. So they will come and ask us, why should I forgive this person when the person has hurt me a lot?
Mm.
Why should I say I love you? I don't love this person. But when we explain the process of Ho'oponopono with the 4 lines, how it is related to yourself, not to the other person, entire
Mm.
study is given to that. Then the person will understand the value of this 4 line and he'll start believing it.
Mm.
Likewise, same goes for any subject. When you see it, you believe it, you understand it, then you
Right.
start
Now,
accepting it and following it.
mhm. Vishalji, on that note, probably I heard in uh, one of the leaders speak about the Shatru Sanghar Puja when like to get rid of the enemy. Now,
Mhm.
the explanation he gave was so very pleasing that it is not the enemy being completely annihilated, but the enmity in the heart being annihilated. It's a self transformation.
Correct.
So, should that kind of explanations be given to the children in a way that it is palatable, or maybe it actually takes up the modern day scenario too and give them a transformation at a home level before they bring child to you, or should they directly bring the child to you?
See, sir, I just tell you. Now, a lady or some grandparents or somebody in the house is telling a story to a child. Okay.
Right,
Now,
right.
what today in the today's world, then nobody tells stories, right? They give them the PlayStations and everything to
Hmm.
play, where they are using weapons and all. So they
Right.
are basically developing with the destructive
Okay.
mind. Now, if the
Right.
parent comes and sits and even say a simple story, which should not be a mythological story, a
Hmm.
simple story. When they say a simple story which
Hmm.
has a moral, like 4 brothers, could not break a stick and all. Where is that nowadays? Nobody's telling that. When they tell
Yeah.
this,
No virtue based stories
no,
these
no one
days.
know there anymore. And when you tell them these stories,
Right.
then you will see the child will understand better.
Right, right, right. We have Anjan Banerjee. I'll request him to be come up stage so that he can directly interact with you.
Correct, sir.
Yes,
Yes, Mr.
Anjanji.
Anjan. Thank you. Right, sir.
Question which nobody has been able to answer. Maybe your wisdom would enthuse many people here.
Mm-hmm,
Uh, when I go to a gurdwara, the
Mhm.
Sikh religious holy
mm-hmm,
place, or maybe to a mosque, I do go to some religious places out of curiosity
mm-hmm,
more than anything else. You are not permitted
mm-hmm.
an entry minus that headgear fare. Some of the religious places do not permit women folks to come in. That's something which surprises me. I want to ask you one honest question, sir, for which I'm looking for an answer.
Mhm.
We trust in God. We think it is the most holy thing and everything. But
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
then, do we really fear God? Do we honestly fear God? Because a criminal in the Second World War, when uh, gets a death sentence, 99.9% the Germans knew the nationality of that traitor. mean God, oh Lord, Allah, or whatever. Now, that brings me to this question to you, sir. We
Hmm.
talk well of,
Mhm.
and everybody does, every religion does, every human being does. Do we really fear God, sir?
Sure.
Or, yeah, thanks.
I would like to answer you here, and Dr. Chris would also throw his light for his knowledge and
Mm.
wisdom. See, first of all, we why do we have that fear comes to us? See, today,
Sure, sure.
when we are a child, that's what I said. Now, it is a conditioning. When we were a child, we have been asked if you do not eat, the cop will come and pick you up, right? And whenever we see a cop standing in front of anybody's house, we start fearing why the cop has come to this place. Something wrong the person has done. So likewise, when we are on that particular stage, when our conscious mind and we are clean, our mind is totally clean, and we are developing subconscious and conscious mind. It is said, if you do not do this, God will punish you. Correct? That is the first time you hear that God will punish you. So punish means what? Fear, right? If we change the sentence, if you do this, God is going to bless you. How does it sound now? Tell me, sir. Anjan sir.
Well, this is honestly for the life of me. I could not conceive as a plausible explanation, and I think you sealed the question here with a brilliant answer. Thank you very much, sir. The point well taken.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So this is basically what, as a transformation coach, regression, script, and reformation coach,
Yeah,
my main idea is first for person to understand from where it is coming from. And when you understand from where it is coming from, you can easily attend to that particular area. And then you can rescript your life. People say my life pattern is the same. No, it is
mm,
not the same. My company name is Design Your Destiny, where I say destiny, the spelling ends with I, not with Y, because everything is about myself first. If I understand myself, here you will become very nice. Correct, sir? So your words play a very important role in developing stage, in
right.
young
Very
adult
much,
stage
very
and
much.
adult stage also. Right, sir?
And may I just ask you
Right.
one more
Vishalji, I'd like
question,
to
sir?
add one more thing. Yeah, I'd like to add to that answer.
Mm-hmm.
Many
Yes,
a
sir.
times, mostly it's that
Your voice again.
mother and a child seeking alms, a beggar on the roadside, the mother says, if you don't study well, you'll become like that. Now, that is a negative affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when another mother and child comes
You're
and the mother
100% right.
says, if you actually study well, then you can support many people like this. That
Mm-hmm.
actually gives him a motivation to study well, rather than if you
You're
don't
right.
study if you don't study well, then you will become like this.
Mm-hmm.
So such kind of change of words can really make a difference, I strongly feel. Do you agree, Dr. Vishal?
110% I do agree, sir, because our words creates our life. See, today, suppose a child is not getting up
Mm-hmm.
from the couch, and mother wants, or somebody has come to your house,
Right.
say, go and bring glass of water. Simple. The child does not get up. Oh, this child will never get up. It's
Mm-hmm.
such a pain. The word comes in, and what happens? Negative words.
Mm-hmm.
And the child, mother say, oh, my child daughter is like, or my son is like
Right,
Queen
right.
Elizabeth or Prince Charles. They take time to get up. So what does it sound?
Mm.
So you should, even if you're saying something negative, see, challenge is a negative word. You say, oh, this is a challenge. It is very thing to do this particular thing.
Mm.
Why challenge? It is not a challenge. It is a very achievable thing. Let's see how well you can achieve it. Change the phrase
Right,
and see
right.
the difference.
So minor change of words, I really change. Yeah, rephrasing,
Yes,
I
sir.
would really appreciate that. Yes, Anjanji, you were saying. You had another
So,
question.
yeah, I had a question. For the life of me, I have
Hmm.
never understood the word karma and the difference between destiny and karma. I tell you this with conviction. In my entire life, I don't think I've ever heard. I must be one of those few people who can confess that I did everything which was right as per the rule books. Yet,
Hmm.
yet, 2 years back, I was
Hmm.
announced dead in a hospital,
Hmm.
and I managed. They said, "No,
Hmm.
take him home. He's dead." Anyway, as a doctor, maybe I had done some good deeds. Uh, People mentioned the word karma. Now, for heavens, for a person who lifelong has served with utmost respect and love for the parents, I sacrificed a huge pay package to come back and look after my mother after I lost my father.
Hmm.
Uh, Now, karma is something which I've heard in for my 35 years of stay in the Western world. They use karma, but then they also use destiny. I want a clarification from the two gentlemen here, doctors. How would you differentiate the two? And what you don't know, how can you label this as a karma? Who's worried about the concerned about the last life, whether you were a dacoit or you were a murderer? I mean, is it repenting today for all
So,
your good deeds? Thank you.
sir, basically we both are regression coach and past life coach, but here I would have to ask, and Dr. Krish will also answer you. See, sir, first of all, karma is as you sow, what you reap, sir.
Yeah.
Simple. That is a very simple language. And now, karma. As you said, that you have been a good son, serving your parents and looking at things in a better way. Right, sir? But yes, you have a limiting belief also at that particular time. Did I or did I not? Karma is a place where whatever you are sowing, it comes back to you in a multiple times. Suppose you are driving on a road and you are about, a person comes and starts shouting at you, and you also shout back. Correct, na, sir? So that is what happens to us. So karma is something what go you give out comes back to you. So now, as you said, when you said ki I would have done some good things when I was back, so sir, I would have done, no, I have done this good thing, good deeds, that's why I'm here back again. Why you put a wood to it? I have done some good things, good deeds to my parents, that's why I'm back again in this life. We are not taking in the past life also, in this life also you have done many good things. So when you think about good things that you have done, boss, what has happened? These good things are totally buried under where we do not see them. A
Right.
person
Right.
comes in front of you, it's perception and projection. A person comes in front of you and starts telling you something. It is not that person who has been sent to you basically to do something wrong. This person is giving you something is wrong within you, try to rectify it to have a better life. So the universe gives you a reply to your answers through other people around you. And that is how the karma speaks. And Chris, Dr. Chris will add to it also.
Right. Right. Anjanji, I would ask. I just want you to think of fate and decision. Many a times we actually blame fate, saying that it was my fate. Now, the fate is actually another name given to your decision. You decided something, and that becomes your fate. And maybe the other way also is there. It is a fate that you decided, and it moves on. Now, this leads to something called destiny, because whatever fate or decision, it ends up in destiny. Now, the same word destiny can be, if you put it in an Indian language, destiny is the destination because of some causative action which you have performed. Now, when you look at what you have done in your life and how it affects you, it just means karma is the result of what you have done. So it doesn't have any other connotation, negative or positive, but it is actually a set of decisions made by you, which actually takes your life forward. The word yoga, which actually says when you split it and look at it, this yogam tad yoga, where you actually walk towards, is your destination or your destiny. So whatever you're doing, if you have survived, yes, you have done certain things, or you have certain things more to do, and that is why you're moving forward. Now, many a times we run behind the why of life rather than what next. When you run behind the why, maybe you will not find answers and you will be completely bewildered. For that, we call some other names for the sake of satisfying ourselves so that we don't get confused more. That is the only reason why people blame it on fate, blame it on karma, blame it on anything else. The actual causative action is your decision, and that leads to something, your destination, which is your destiny. I hope I could throw light on it. And moving on, we have Charito Yamar, real estate consultant, broker, and appraiser. Yes, Charito. Unmute yourself, please. And you can talk to Dr. Vishal Saxena, who is a transformation coach. I think Charita was not able to unmute. How about Soumya Santosh?
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Just I had a doubt actually. Uh, this transformation, as you are a transformation coach, the that word transformation itself is like uh, I feel it's a little bit overrated. Or are we transforming ourselves for others to suit the others? What to say? A picture of us, or the transformation is for ourselves, because many a times we do transformation to suit into the picture of others and not really for us.
Mhm.
What's your opinion,
Madam,
doctor?
first of all, thanks for a very nice question which you have asked. See, if I have to ask you, name three people whom you love the most. Can you name them, please?
Yeah, my
Soumya?
brother,
My brother, okay.
my parents,
My?
my parents,
Okay.
my husband, my children. I
Okay.
have a long list.
Okay. You have a long list, correct?
Yeah, I have.
Yes. So now, ma'am, tell me one thing. When you're working on this long list, and where does your name fit into it?
That's true.
Right? So, what we transform is basically yourself first. And when if you are filled with things within you, then only you can deliver things,
Mm,
right? So,
yeah.
our transformation is focused on basically how to improve yourself first. And with yourself first, then you improve the world. So, you have to transform yourself.
What's right for me may not be right for others, right? Like,
मैडम, देयर इज अ सेइंग इन हिंदी, सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग. सो पहले हम तो ठीक हो जाएं,
uh,
फिर लोग की सोचेंगे.
yeah,
सो वी
that's it.
बेसिकली, हाँ, जस्ट सेकंड.
Yeah, thank you, Soumya.
Thank you.
Charito, are you able to unmute yourself? You can interact with Dr. Vishal straight away. I think Charito is facing a glitch. I think you should try and come up again. Those who have questions or would like to interact with Dr. Vishal, yes, you can just raise your virtual hand and I can bring you up stage and you can interact with Dr. Vishal. In between, let me ask you the modality of, you specialize in Silva method too, other than a whole lot of, like, say, NLP and life transformation, regression, rescripting. We have a whole list of specialities with you. Can you throw light on the Silva method or manifestation for that matter?
I just, good thing you will ask me. For the people who will be attending, they will understand it. See, first of all, let's understand what is manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
See, manifestation is something which has been written as a affirmation in a line. I love and accept myself. Let's talk about this as a manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
I love and accept myself. Now, when you're saying I love and accept myself, are you saying with the conviction, or you're just saying, okay, I love and accept myself? Or you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I love and accept, but do I love my accept myself or avoid? First, we have to think that way.
Right.
And if we are thinking through avoid, so 100 times if you say I love and accept myself, it is not going to work.
Right.
Okay. So when you say something, you have to say I love and accept myself with conviction.
Mm-hmm.
When you say with conviction, that is the manifestation. A repeated statement said day in and day out for 7 days at least.
Mm-hmm.
You see, what happens here is we do manifestation for 7 days. After that, we become quiet. Yeah, this is not working for me,
Right.
right? So we stop it. But no, it has started to work. It started making a shift. You have to wait for the shift.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
is, I love and accept myself. Now, Silva method. Dr. Silva is basically a person who is basically Dr. Silva was a radio mechanic who
Mm-hmm.
was basically working in repairing of radios. What he did was he was sitting with his daughter and he worked on the frequency level of frequencies. He said when radio can work on frequencies, so can a human also work on frequencies. When a person works on frequencies, he can attract many things. So
Mm-hmm.
that is where he started off. And one day he said, how do I experience and make people work on this? So he was sitting with his daughter. His daughter was there, not good in grades. So he said, okay, let me tell my daughter how to move ahead in life with beautiful grades. That
Mm-hmm.
was the first thing. So when this Dr. Silva was working on it, he started working with his eldest daughter. And while he was working on her, what he saw was basically one day a daughter, when he was thinking of a question in mind, a daughter could say, oh, this is the question you are thinking, the ESP method, the telepathy, what we call it.
Mm-hmm.
So he wrote to the professor at that particular time. He said, okay, listen, this is what my daughter has done. They said, oh, this is all something not right. You are just dreaming about it. Then he
Mm-hmm.
started to work on his younger daughter. And
Mm-hmm.
gradually he started to work on the people in his entire area in Texas. When he
Right.
started to work on this particular area, everybody was starting to get good results and his name started moving ahead. So Silva method had introduced three frame manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was a simple thing. First frame is things in your current situation which you are not achievable. Correct? And you see a picture of it because we all love to visualize things easier. So
Mm-hmm.
you see a picture which is current situation which is not working for you.
Mm-hmm.
Then he says move this picture to the right and then go to the next picture. In the next picture, what you see, how you can take action to this particular picture to make it correct.
Mm.
And the third, then again move it to the right, and then the last frame, you see what good result it has given to you.
Okay.
And that is the main picture you have to manifest. And Dr. Silva said, when you do something, you have to meditate first from
Mm.
100 to 1 for 10 days, then 75 to 1 next 10 days, then 50 to 1 next 10 days, so that you can reach to a alpha state.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, it's vibration. We are working normal on a conscious mind is working on a beta stage, and the
Mm-hmm.
stage after that is alpha stage when you're half asleep and awake, and when you're little more sleep, it is in a theta wave, and then the
Mm.
delta waves.
Gamma. Yeah.
So, in the alpha wave, when you're vibrating, you start to attract things which are your subconscious mind is slowly grasping. Your conscious mind is relaxed. When you're in a sleep state, the conscious mind is relaxed and subconscious mind takes over. And
Mm-hmm.
consciously to do it, you have to do this counting. But
Right.
if in a
Right.
sleep state, if you start manifesting things, it will start to happen. So these three frame meditation of Dr. Silva is very important if you want to achieve something. But yes, you have to trust the process for doing it.
Right. It is more like trusting a parent when the mother or father says, "Okay, come, take one step forward and slowly start walking," and makes a child walk. We are actually becoming a child again with this method.
Hmm.
Right. We
Okay.
have Ani. Yes, Ani, you can interact with Dr. Vishal.
Good evening, Dr. Chris,
Good evening.
Good
and
evening.
good evening, Dr. Vishal.
Good evening.
So, my question for you is what inspired you to start on this journey of hypnotherapy, NLP, reformation, etc.?
Mhm. See, ma'am, I'll just tell you one thing. When I started in 97 college
Mhm.
working days also, what had happened was a lot of people I saw around me, they all at that time also were not accepting life as it is.
Okay.
Okay, so now and they were not accepting it. Okay, this is
Mhm.
what is my fate. This is how it has happened to me. I cannot do something to me. So first thing which came to my mind was I was a very self-motivated child. Okay,
Okay.
so I used to like to do things the way I wanted to do it. Even I used to get spanking, no problem, but I used to love to do it. So I said, what is there which is they are not able to understand, which I am able to understand.
Hmm.
See, now you have can look things in two ways. So I said, okay, now what is that? It is this. So when I used to speak to my friends, I used to say, oh, they said this is not going to happen. I said, why it cannot be happen? Why we cannot achieve it? So they used to say, Acha, how can you achieve it? Then I used to work on them. So that is what I said. Then they used to get good results also. They said they're playing mode only. No, I used to speak to them.
Hmm.
And they said, okay, this is what it is. And that time, hypnotherapy was a taboo, I'll tell you.
I
So,
see.
so people used to think if a person is learning hypnosis, he looks into somebody's eyes and he can rob money also. So when I did for the first time from Indian Institute of Hypnoscience, people never used to come near me. My friend also used to go away. Now Vishal will look into our eyes
Okay.
and he will do something, he'll take our property only. So
Hmm.
there was a myth around it. But yes, when I started to first do self hypnosis on myself, my own performance started to improve. And people started saying, "Hey, how can you do this?" I said,
Hmm.
yes, it can be achieved if you have to work on yourself. Then I started teaching people at that 97 only how to achieve their goals. Like sales, we were there. People used to say, Acha, I am not able to do this. Like pendulums were there. Now, if you would have remembered, I do not know your age, people used to move bowls. They would say the bowl will say yes or no answer. There's a split inside it. Right? And people say, hey, he's calling the split, he's calling this. Nothing of that sort. It was just the energy and your focus. Then I started working on them and I started to help people around me. And then they said, Acha, something good is happening. So that made me move ahead in life and learn all the modalities. Because when you learn all the modalities gradually, you tend to understand more deeper and deeper. And then I started to teach people also, coach people also, and heal people also. That is how the journey started. And I started liking this journey.
Hmm.
Right.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you
Thank you very much.
yeah, thank you very much. And as we move towards the last few minutes, I would quickly want to get an idea from you, Dr. Vishal, that when a person fails, the first feeling he gets is the sense of depression. And probably he will dwell on it and make it so big that he'll never be able to come out of that well of sadness. Now, what would be your advice as a transformation coach? What is that first thing that any other person who is seeing such a person could do so that at least he starts getting out of that well of depression?
Right, sir. See, first of all, understand, sir, failure is not a failure.
Hmm.
I have failed many times.
Right.
Okay. So failure is not a failure.
Hmm.
It is basically people view of looking at things.
Hmm.
I may have failed maybe in some subjects or in business. It's not
Hmm.
necessary that I will fail in everything. I may be in a wrong road.
Hmm.
I like people they all stand in a crossroad, correct?
Right.
and I have taken the wrong path of it, which
Hmm.
is not my passion, not my love. It is just a pressure on me to do that, right?
Okay.
And I'm working on that particular line, and suddenly I find a dead end. That is a failure.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than understand when this dead end has come, this is a failure. I cannot move ahead in life. That is what it is. Now there are other way to look at things also. Okay, this is a dead end. That does not mean the life ends here.
Mm.
There were other three openings also, right? I go
Right.
back and start a new journey, which we call as a goal pacing and understanding your life. So
Hmm.
what happens here is when you move ahead in the other direction, you will surely pass it. Rather than thinking, oh, I failed here. Oh, last time when I went 10 steps, I could not move ahead in life. Okay, now I've
Mm.
moved 11 steps. Oh my goodness. Now I think so I'm on the right path. Move ahead
Mm-hmm.
in life. So failure is nothing but a learning, which people normally say nowadays, failure is nothing but a learning. But when you fail, do you start from zero or from where? You do not start from zero again. You
Mm.
start from the learning and then move ahead.
Right.
So people normally they go into depression and the well, they say, oh, I failed, and again they try the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have failed, you have not failed, you have learned, and with this particular learning, start again.
Mm.
Okay, maybe there is an obstruction and you're not able to overcome that obstruction. So break that obstruction. Suppose there is a roadblock, you're driving your car, a tree comes and falls in front of you, and you have to go to some place, and you do not know how to go it. So what you will do is you'll try to call people around you to remove the tree from the road, and then you move ahead. It may
Mm.
take time. You may spend 1 2 hours or 3 hours or one day more, but then you will move ahead. So when you're moving ahead, that is what it is. It is not failure. Nobody is a failure in this world.
Right.
It's just a misconception which people have given to everybody with a word that failure is a failure. No,
Mm-hmm.
nothing is called failure. It is
Right.
always a learning path, a journey which is a block, which can be cleaned and cleared, and you can move ahead again.
Yeah. Does that actually mean that a person who has failed, say, more than once, could be a longer success than a person who just achieved at the first go? Because maybe he will
Please,
not be able to handle it later.
please, I'll just tell you. A person who has achieved at the first go does not know the pain of enjoying the success. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the person who has failed twice, thrice, 4 times, he knows what success means to him. And if I have written one topic also. What is success?
Mm-hmm.
Success is nothing but a person way of proving the world that I was compared in the past. I can show them that I am much better than anybody else. That is why we all run for being successful.
Mm-hmm.
Successful, being successful, and success is something which comes from the void of the past.
Right.
To prove.
Mm-hmm.
So prove you become successful. So success stories are always starts with you see very humble beginning they come with. I was this, and growth slowly I grew into the successful person.
Mm.
They are trying to prove something. And the person who receives it first go, he says, it's so simple. I do not have
Mm-hmm.
to prove anybody. That is how it becomes.
Right, Dr. Vishal. We are actually coming to the last 1 minute of our show, Just Seriously. And really, I would like to say, seriously, we are thinking about something which we need to have started thinking long back, and let the transformation happen through you. All the best wishes to you. At the same time, we'd like to have your parting notes, please.
I couldn't get so your voice went away. So sorry.
We would like to get your parting notes, please.
Yes, sir. Basically, my parting notes for everybody is whatever you do, you try to overcome it rather than manage it.
Hmm.
Whatever happens in your life, do not try to manage it, rather try to overcome it. When you
Hmm.
overcome it, you will feel much better and much happier rather than managing it, because managing keeps this thing in the same place, maybe in a smaller way.
Hmm. Hmm.
So from today onwards, don't say I want to do stress management, anger management, anxiety management. No,
Hmm.
I want to overcome stress, anxiety, and everything. So whichever the roadblocks comes into your life, say I am ready to overcome it, not manage
Right.
it.
Excellent. So, really, from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to thank you for the time you have spent with us. This 1 hour is very precious, and I'm sure this particular show, a lot of people would have a lot of things to take home, and they will transform themselves. And I'm sure that all those people who are approaching you get that change through regression, rescripting, and reformation and transformation. And I wish you all the best, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, everyone, asking for such lovely questions. Thank you very much. There was some voice problem happening in the middle, and things were not working. Maybe the net issue on my side, but still, it was pleasure being on the stage with Dr. Chris and
Thank you
speaking to
very much.
everyone. Thank you very much.
So thank you
On our
very much, and wishing everyone a transformed life. Just seriously voicing thoughts with me, Chris Venugopal, every Thursday night, 9:30 p.m. India time and 8 p.m. UAE time. So see you next week with a new speaker. And Dr. Vishal, we would like to see you again on our session very soon. And I'm sure by then, many of us would have transformed ourselves. Thank you
I
very
will
much and good
appreciate
night.
that. Love you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you
everyone.
very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.